55 yards. That's all Dillon Gabriel managed in 2 quarters, a number that might seem small until you realize what it represents. For the Browns, it's more than offensive inefficiency. It's the product of misplaced confidence and organizational paralysis. Kevin Stefanski's refusal to adjust, his insistence on a predictable game plan, and his hesitance to let Shedeur Sanders touch the field. All of it points to a franchise stuck between fear and frustration. Meanwhile, Haslam's anger wasn't about stats. It was about squandered opportunity and the growing realization that this team is being held back by its own decisions.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
The truth is, every minute Sanders spends on the bench is another setback for Cleveland's future. His composure under pressure, his leadership, his readiness. They're being wasted in favor of comfort and habit. When a franchise ignores its most promising player, it's not a matter of patience, it's malpractice. The Browns' problem isn't talent, it's trust. And, until they rebuild that from the top down, no game plan will save them from themselves. The Cleveland Browns just got embarrassed by the Miami Dolphins, and the ripple effects are hitting every corner of the franchise, from the front office to the locker room to the owner's suite, where Jimmy Haslam is reportedly furious. And he should be, because this wasn't just a bad loss. This was a display of organizational failure playing out in real time, capped off by one of the most baffling quarterback decisions we've seen all season. Let's start with the most damning stat of the day: 55 passing yards by halftime. That's all Dillon Gabriel had managed to scrape together before heading into the locker room. Not 155. Not even 95. Just 55. In a league where offenses are built to move the ball through the air, that kind of performance isn't just inefficient, it's completely unplayable. The offense looked scared. The play calling was cautious. Everything was kept short, simple, and safe. And that's exactly what you do when you don't trust your quarterback. The coaching staff wouldn't let Gabriel push the ball downfield. They kept everything under wraps, like they were trying to hide his limitations instead of build around his strengths. And when you're working that hard to mask your quarterback, what does that say? It says the guy shouldn't be starting. And yet, sitting just a few feet away on the sideline was Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback with a stronger arm, better poise, and actual experience playing under pressure. A quarterback who's handled big moments with calm. A quarterback who's ready. But instead of giving him a chance, the Browns stuck with Gabriel and watched the offense sink like a stone. And it's not just the fans noticing. It's the players. Myles Garrett was visibly frustrated. You could feel the tension on the sideline. You could see it in the body language after every stalled drive. The defense is out there working overtime, carrying this team, only to watch the offense collapse drive after drive after drive. And it's not just frustrating, it's demoralizing. You don't get elite defensive performances forever. These guys are in their prime now, and the team is throwing it away with every game Gabriel starts. Quinton Judkins? He showed up. He ran hard. He did everything he could to get this offense moving. But when the quarterback can't complete passes beyond the line of scrimmage, there's only so much a running back can do. One man can't carry an entire unit, especially not when the playbook is built like it's afraid of its own shadow. And through all of this, Sanders continues to wait. He shows up, stays professional, keeps quiet. No tantrums. No finger pointing. Just patience. But how long can you really expect that to last? He's shown leadership. He's shown maturity. He's shown readiness. What he hasn't been given is a real opportunity. And that's the problem. Because this isn't just about one bad game. This is about a trend, a pattern, a choice by the Browns to ignore what's obvious, to put loyalty to a failing plan ahead of the team's future. And that's where the term organizational malpractice really comes into play. Because when you know you're making the wrong choice and you keep making it, you're not just making mistakes. You're damaging your team, actively. And let's talk about development. Because if that's the excuse, we're bringing Shedeur along slowly, then that excuse is out of time. The only way quarterbacks develop in this league is by playing. Sitting on the bench, while Gabriel struggles, doesn't help Sanders. It delays his growth. It delays his rhythm with the offense. It delays every bit of progress he could be making right now. The Browns have a young quarterback who could be the future of this franchise. But instead of letting him learn through experience, they're sticking with someone who can't run a modern NFL offense at even a baseline level. That's not caution. That's sabotage. Every week this continues. The damage gets worse. The losses pile up. The locker room drifts. The coaching staff loses credibility. And the fan base? They've already seen this movie. The Cleveland faithful have sat through rebuild after rebuild, always being told to wait, to trust the process, to be patient. But this isn't a rebuild anymore. This is a team with real defensive talent, a promising running game, and a rookie quarterback on the roster who has the potential to be great. And they're blowing it by choice. That's why Jimmy Haslam's anger matters here. Because when ownership starts reacting this publicly, it's no longer just a locker room issue. It's a leadership issue. Haslam is watching a team he's invested millions in get dragged down by bad decisions and coaching stubbornness. And if you think he's going to sit back while the staff continues to ride with Gabriel week after week, you haven't been paying attention. This isn't about pressure from the media. This is about accountability. The Browns owe it to their players, their fans, and their future to stop pretending this quarterback situation is working. Dillon Gabriel is not the guy. He can't stretch the field. He can't improvise under pressure. He doesn't inspire confidence from the play-calling staff. He's not trusted to lead a comeback or even maintain a lead. And everyone knows it. So, what are the Browns waiting for? Starting Shedeur Sanders isn't risky. It's necessary. He has the skills. He has the tools. He has the temperament. He has the respect of the locker room. And most importantly, he gives the team a chance. That's what they don't have right now. A chance. This isn't just about giving a rookie a shot. It's about finally making a decision that reflects reality. The current strategy isn't working. It's not helping Gabriel. It's not helping Sanders. And it's definitely not helping the team. You have a young quarterback who's shown he can make plays under pressure. You have a fan base begging to see something different. You have a defense on the verge of losing hope. You have an owner who's already lost his patience. And you still refuse to make the change? Every game they wait to start Sanders is a wasted opportunity. Every game they wait is a day further from building a real winning culture. Every game they wait is another sign that the people in charge are more concerned with appearances than results. It doesn't have to be this way. The Browns can still salvage this season. The talent is there. The roster isn't broken. The future hasn't slipped away. Not yet. But continuing with Gabriel guarantees one thing: more of the same. More frustration. More stagnation. More failure. Shedeur Sanders is ready. The only thing stopping him is a coaching staff that's too proud or too scared to admit they got it wrong. And if they don't move now, the damage could become irreversible. This team isn't just playing badly. They're being actively held back by bad decisions. And it's not going to get better until those decisions change. Let Sanders take the reins. Let him lead. Let the team rally around someone who can actually ignite an offense. This isn't about expectations. It's about effort. And right now, the only people putting in real effort are the ones who aren't being given a fair shot. If you're sick of seeing this same story unfold week after week, drop your thoughts below. Is this the most self-inflicted QB disaster in recent Browns history? Like if you're tired of the excuses. Share this video with a fan who's ready for change. And subscribe, because this saga isn't over. And we'll be right here to break down every painful step until they finally do what they should have done weeks ago. Start Sanders. End the dysfunction. Before the Browns bury themselves in it permanently. There's a difference between making a tough call and refusing to make the right one. Right now, the Cleveland Browns aren't just failing to act. They're letting fear and ego run the show. That's what makes this situation so maddening. It's not a mystery. It's not some complex, behind-the-scenes chess match. The answer is right there, staring them in the face. And they keep blinking. Shedeur Sanders is everything this team says it wants in a franchise quarterback. Poised, professional, resilient. He's not rattled by pressure, he's built for it. He doesn't need the perfect situation. He is the upgrade. The Browns don't need to trade for a savior or reinvent their playbook. They just need to stop sabotaging themselves by refusing to hand the keys to the one guy on their roster who can actually drive this thing forward. And look, this isn't about pretending Sanders will walk in and light up the scoreboard like a 10-year veteran. He'll make rookie mistakes. He'll miss reads. He'll throw picks. That's part of the deal. But the difference is, those mistakes will be part of a learning curve that leads somewhere. With Gabriel, it's not a curve, it's a cliff. We've already reached the edge, and the coaching staff is still pressing the gas. This is where stubbornness turns into self-destruction. Every franchise has defining moments. This is one of them. You've got the talent. You've got the defense. You've got a fan base willing, begging, to believe in something. But belief requires a reason. It requires action. And right now, the Browns are stuck between fear of being wrong and fear of what happens if they admit it. What happens? You fix it. You start over. You salvage the rest of the season. That's what happens. The longer you delay, the worse it gets. Let's not forget what this does to Shedeur Sanders personally. He's done everything the right way. He's stayed focused. He's kept quiet. He hasn't thrown the staff under the bus, hasn't aired his frustration, hasn't created distractions. But how long does that last? How long can a quarterback with clear talent sit and watch his team crumble while the guy ahead of him struggles to throw for even 100 yards a game? This isn't just benching talent. It's delaying his career. It's risking his trust in the organization that drafted him. Eventually, the silence turns to doubt. And once that creeps in, you don't just risk losing games, you risk losing him. And let's be honest, no player is above walking away from a team that never believed in them when it mattered. Especially in today's NFL. Quarterbacks want to play. Quarterbacks need to play. If the Browns aren't going to give Sanders a real shot, somebody else will. That's a fact. And it shouldn't come to that. Because again, this isn't a talent problem. This isn't a lack of resources. It's not even about wins and losses anymore. It's about identity. Right now, the Browns are playing scared. Scared of change. Scared of headlines. Scared of admitting a mistake. But fear doesn't win games. Fear doesn't fix locker rooms. Fear doesn't inspire fans. Shedeur Sanders does. He gives the Browns something they haven't had in years. Hope with direction. Not false hope. Not off-season hype. Not a one-week wonder. Real potential. Real progress. A real foundation to build on. But none of that matters if he stays on the sideline. Dillon Gabriel has shown us exactly what he is at this level. He's not ready. And maybe he never will be. That's okay. Not every quarterback pans out. But continuing to treat him like the future when the present is this bad, that's not development. That's delusion. And it's hurting everyone. The coaching staff looks weak. The locker room looks divided. The offense looks predictable. The defense looks tired. The fans look exhausted. And the ownership? Furious. When Jimmy Haslam is reportedly this angry, it's because he's watching his franchise flush opportunity down the drain, while a solution stands 10 feet away in a helmet, wondering if he'll ever get a fair shot. This can't keep going. It's not sustainable. You think the crowd booing now is loud? Wait until it happens at home. Wait until the stadium empties in the third quarter. Wait until players start giving short answers in post-game interviews because they've checked out emotionally. All of this is avoidable. But it starts with accountability, not vague statements about internal evaluations, not hints and pressers, not sticking to the status quo out of some outdated sense of loyalty. Actual, visible, decisive accountability. That means saying, Gabriel is not the guy, and Shedeur Sanders is. And if the staff can't bring themselves to make that change, then they shouldn't be surprised when people start questioning if they're the problem. At some point, it stops being about the quarterback and starts being about who keeps putting him in that position. No one's asking for a miracle. The Browns aren't expected to become Super Bowl contenders overnight. But you can't sell fans and players on a winning culture while running an offense that plays like it's scared of its own quarterback. Sanders might make mistakes, but at least the offense will have a pulse. At least the players will know the team is trying. At least the fans will feel like there's someone worth investing in. Right now, there's nothing. Just empty drives, tired excuses, and wasted Sundays. This decision has dragged on long enough. There's no saving face anymore. The only thing left to save is the season. So make the switch. Stop hiding behind a failing plan. Stop letting fear dictate decisions. Start your most talented quarterback and build around him like the future matters, because it does. You can't coach scared. You can't win scared. And you can't fix dysfunction with more dysfunction. Start Shedeur Sanders. Let him throw. Let him lead. Let him grow. Every week you wait is one step closer to turning this season into a total loss. And if that happens, it's on them, not him. There's only so much gaslighting a fan base can take before it turns into revolt. And right now, the Cleveland Browns are one more stubborn quarterback decision away from igniting a full-blown mutiny. Not just from fans, but from the players, the media, and everyone else watching this train wreck unfold in slow motion. Let's not sugarcoat it anymore. Continuing to start Dillon Gabriel isn't just wrong. It's organizational negligence. It's willful ignorance. It's a slap in the face to the talent on the roster, the people in the building, and the fans in the stands who've watched this team fall on its face too many times to keep pretending this is normal. What exactly are the Browns waiting for? A miracle? Gabriel has shown exactly who he is. And it's not slander. It's just facts. He's not ready. He can't read the field fast enough. He's skittish in the pocket. He misses wide-open receivers. He can't make a throw unless it's scripted and spoon-fed to him. That's not growth. That's regression. And you can tell the coaches know it too, because the game plan was nothing but checkdowns and panic throws. When your quarterback finishes the first half with 55 yards, the answer isn't just stick with him and hope. The answer is make a change. And let's not pretend like the Browns don't have one. Because this isn't a team scraping the bottom of the barrel, desperate for options. This is a team sitting on Shedeur Sanders, a poised, confident, NFL-ready quarterback who's literally watching this season crumble, while being told not yet. Not yet? If not now, when? How much more dysfunction needs to pile up before the staff wakes up? You've got a defense that's playing at a playoff level. You've got one of the most promising rookie running backs in the league. And you've got a locker room that's teetering on the edge of checking out. Because here's the truth that the Browns don't want to admit. Continuing with Gabriel is insulting to the rest of the team. Garrett, Ward, JOK, those guys are putting in blood and sweat, drive after drive, only to watch the offense come out and hand the ball right back. It's demoralizing. It's insulting to their effort. And it's creating fractures in the locker room that no culture speech can patch over. And then there's Shedeur, the guy who's done everything right. He's handled the situation with class. He hasn't rocked the boat. He's been locked in, waiting for his chance, trusting the process. But the process is broken. The coaching staff keeps talking about earning the job, but Sanders already has. Not with sound bites, with reps, with tape, with presence. He's the guy who's shown he can step in, take over a huddle, lead a drive, and manage pressure without folding. That's what separates quarterbacks in this league. It's not just arm talent, it's poise. And Sanders has it in spades. So why hasn't he started yet? Is it pride? Is it fear of media fallout? Is it an unwillingness to admit the staff backed the wrong horse? At this point, none of those excuses are worth what it's costing the team. Every game they stick with Gabriel is a game lost. Not just in the standings, but in trust, morale, and growth. And don't think the locker room hasn't noticed. You don't need inside sources to see it. Just watch the sidelines. The blank stares. The defeated shrugs. The unspoken here we go again, every time Gabriel trots out for another drive and immediately stalls it. This isn't football anymore. It's self-sabotage. And it's not just about losing. It's about how they're losing. It's about what message is being sent. When you bench your best quarterback prospect because you're afraid to shake things up, you're telling everyone, we care more about comfort than winning. And in the NFL, that mindset kills franchises. You've got owners furious, veterans frustrated, fans done pretending, and still, the Browns are dragging their feet on the most obvious fix in football. Start Shedeur Sanders. He's not the gamble. He's the answer. Not the perfect answer. Not the guaranteed answer. But the only one that makes any football sense right now. Because what's the worst that happens? He throws a few picks? Makes some bad reads? At least he'll do something. At least the offense will be alive again. At least receivers will have a chance to make plays. At least the defense won't feel like they have to pitch a shutout just to keep the team within a field goal. Let's be brutally honest here. The Browns are wasting time. And not just any time, development time. The most critical window for any young quarterback is when he starts learning in real time, under real pressure, against real competition. That's how you mold a franchise player. You don't protect him from failure. You teach him through it. The longer Sanders sits, the more you delay that development. The longer Gabriel starts, the more you drive a wedge through the team. And the longer this staff refuses to pivot, the more you risk this season spiraling into something unrecoverable. There are no excuses left. The stats don't lie. The eye test doesn't lie. The sideline reactions don't lie. Gabriel isn't cutting it, and everyone knows it. There is nothing to evaluate anymore. The evaluation has already been done, every Sunday, live on national TV. So let's stop with the wait-and-see act. Let's stop pretending like a switch to Sanders is some radical, reckless move. It's not. It's the only move. It's the one path forward that doesn't involve more wasted drives, more defensive meltdowns, more locker room resentment, and more public embarrassment. And if the coaching staff still can't see it, then maybe they're the ones who need to be evaluated next. You can't fix dysfunction if you're too proud to admit it exists. And right now, the Browns are clinging to dysfunction like it's part of the brand. But it doesn't have to be this way. There's still time. Not a lot, but enough. Enough to make a statement. Enough to regain control. Enough to salvage what could still be a competitive season. Start Sanders. Let the team rally behind him. Let the fan base see that you're finally ready to lead, not just manage. Let the defense know that their effort isn't being wasted. Let the locker room believe again. Or keep doing what you're doing. Keep starting a quarterback who can't move the ball, calling plays like you're scared of your own offense, and hoping nobody notices how far off the rails this thing has gone. Spoiler, everyone already noticed. So what now? Are the Browns going to keep pretending this is normal? Keep sending Gabriel out there until the boos turn into empty seats? Keep watching Sanders pace the sideline while the offense dies on the field? Or are they going to finally make the decision that changes everything? That's the question this team has to answer. Not next week. Not after the next disaster. Now. Start Shedeur Sanders. If you're tired of watching this team stall every Sunday, let it be known. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's really holding this franchise back from doing the obvious? Hit like if you're ready to see a real quarterback under center. Share this with someone who's sick of excuses. And subscribe, because as long as the Browns keep fumbling their own future, we'll be here breaking it down. This is your moment, Cleveland. Don't blow it. Again.